President Joe Biden is calling for an ambitious budget for fiscal year 2024, and it relies mostly on additional revenue from raising taxes on wealthy Americans and corporations. The proposal for an even higher minimum tax this year on the top 0.01% of earners and households worth more than $100 million, along with quadrupling the stock buyback tax and raising the top individual income tax bracket to 39.6%, all sound familiar to the president's 2020 campaign promises. Treasury officials declined to say which of Biden's tax proposals might be able to win enough votes in Congress to become law. The Biden administration's ambitious 2024 budget proposals will also close Medicare tax loopholes in order to make the Medicare Trust Fund solvent for over 2 decades. This can all be done by taxing the wealthy, which the White House considers paying their fair share. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen even adopted an off-scene campaign slogan for Biden in 2020, saying the president's budget would be fully paid for with taxes on the wealthy. On Friday morning, Yellen will appear before the House Ways and Means Committee where she will testify and defend Biden's budget proposals. Although the majority in the House and Senate are currently Republican, Biden still stands a chance of getting his proposals passed through Congress, if not all of them then at least some. Although the official declined to comment, it can still be assumed that some of the Biden tax proposals could be successful if Democrats and Republicans choose to work together on them. The focus of Biden's 2024 budget proposals center on making sure the wealthy pay their fair share, which could partly relieve the generated revenue for social services or even for additional tax relief for the middle class. It would be the first step in making sure that the burden of the country's expenses are fairly placed on all. Furthermore, the proposed raising of taxes on corporations would not only help fund the government, but would also help ensure that huge corporations contribute to the country, which could help support services for citizens. Biden's goal is to cut the nation's deficit by $3 trillion in the next decade, a feat that would require substantial changes in the U.S. tax system. Unfortunately, these ambitious goals will be very difficult to achieve considering the congressional makeup of the House, but with careful negotiation it can still be done. Besides the tax proposals, Biden's budget also includes an increase in government spending in areas such as infrastructure improvement and healthcare. That can be done by removing some of the loopholes in the Medicare tax, which will help keep the fund solvent for the next 2 decades. Additional proposals also include helping ease the cost of insulin, making sure that private insurance covers up to $35 per month. Though Biden's budget proposals may seem ambitious, they are essential in order to help fund the much-needed public services and to reduce the national deficit in the long run. It's now up to Yellen and other government officials to work with both Democrats and Republicans in order to make sure that Biden's budget for 2024 is passed into law. The goal of reducing the deficit and ensuring that the wealthy and corporations pay their fair share will help create a more equitable society in the future. The success of these efforts could depend on the dedication and commitment of governmental officials in the present.